Hello, everyone. Welcome to Reorientation Week. It is day 3 of Reorientation Week presented by Her Campus and Coke with Coffee. We are so excited that all of you are tuning in virtually with us right now. It's been a really exciting week so far. We just wrapped up a couple of really cool sessions like how to beat the afternoon slump. We also talked about creative organization and bullet journaling, how we can get on track toward our goals this year. We've got a couple of more days and sessions left, and we are so excited for you to tune in to all of those. So we hope that these sessions have been as refreshing and uplifting as they have been for all of us at Her Campus. So before we dive in and get started to today's session, which is all about manifesting our goals, I want to say a huge thank you to Coke with Coffee for making this conversation possible for us. So Coke with Coffee is all about helping us refresh, uplift our day. And let's be honest, that is something that we can all benefit from nowadays. So I've got my Coke with Coffee right here. I am drinking the dark blend. It tastes like classic Coca-Cola that you know and love, but it has a nice coffee finish, which is super creative and fun. And yeah, I would love for us all to dive in. We'll introduce ourselves, let you all know what we do at Her Campus. And I'd love to start off with Madeline. Could you introduce yourself and let us know what flavor you are sipping on today?
Yes. Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. My name is Madeline Boken, and I am our manager of branded content here at Her Campus Media. And I'm drinking the caramel flavor, which is my favorite. I love a caramel iced coffee, and I love Coke, and it's the perfect marriage of those flavors, and I love it. So this is my new go-to. And Alexis, I'd love to know what flavor you've chosen for today.
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Alexis Martin, and I'm the Associate Campus Marketing and Community here at Her Campus Media. And today I'm drinking the vanilla flavored Coke with Coffee. And I'm so excited to drink this because vanilla is my go-to flavor of all things coffee. So yay.
Amazing. Well, welcome. My name is Tiana. I am the associate editor here at Her Campus Media. Like I said, I've got my dark blend here, classic coffee flavor, and we're really excited to dive in today. Today's session is all about manifesting with vision boards, which is personally one of my favorite topics. So before we dive in, we're just going to send you a little virtual cheers. We are so excited to try these Coke with coffees and have a moment to refresh our day. So, send you guys cheers. Oh, this is so exciting. So, we are going to dive in. This, like I said, is one of my favorite topics. So every year I create a vision board, and we thought this would be an amazing opportunity to just share why vision boards are important, what they actually are, what it entails to make one, and how they can help refresh our day, refresh our year, and really set us up for a fun and creative time. So first things first, what is a vision board? So there are many ways to make one, and we're going to dive into all of that soon. But a vision board is essentially a visual representation of your goals and your dreams. So it can include images, words, phrases, really anything that gives you that sense of motivation and inspiration to go after the life that you want, gives me chills. It's so exciting. So personally, it's one of my favorite things to do at the start of each year, just to have a reset, a refresh moment. But the truth is, you can create one whenever you want. And like I said, there are so many different ways to do it. So in terms of why people create them, I've heard of all different reasons, right? So partially, it's really fun. It's just something to do with your hands, and you can create a whole experience around vision boarding. You can call your friends, you can grab snacks, you can have Coke with coffee and make it a whole party. So lots of fun. There's also this whole focus element and this goal setting element of seeing things visually that remind you of what you want to go after in life, which is amazing. And it just provides some general inspiration and an opportunity to visualize that beautiful life that you want. So for me, it's always about coming back to that bigger picture, reminding me of perspective and what's important, and getting me excited about the long-term goals that I want to go for. So I'd love to hear from you, Alexis. I know earlier we were talking about why we create vision boards and kind of what goes into them. So could you share with us a little bit about your process?
Yeah, so I love creating a vision board at the top of the year as well because it's a great way to just set the tone for the upcoming year. It's a great way to just have your goals kind of in front of you in physical form. It's a way of just making them more attainable, and there's just an awesome representation of like your dreams, your aspirations, again, right in front of you. So it's just a great way for you to see it and make it see it and believe it, and achieve it. So that's why I love making a vision board.
Amazing. I love that. And thank you so much for sharing. It's always fun to hear, why people create them and kind of what goes into it. So, Madeline, I'd love to hear from you. What's a reason why you like to create vision boards?
I have actually always created a vision board in a notebook. So it's usually, I feel every year I have a new notebook. It's a big, large, just lined notebook. You got it like any convenience store. And I just make them whenever I feel like I need a new inspiration. So mine isn't, of course, I make one at the beginning of the year, like you guys were mentioning, but I make them throughout the year whenever I'm either embarking on something new or have like a new burst of creative energy, or when I need to find that creative energy. If I'm like not feeling inspired, I will sit down, whether it's, taking a 20-minute break in the afternoon and, having my Coke with coffee, or if it's, after work and I'm like, okay, I'm dedicating time because this is fun and I need to continue to visualize and manifest my goals, whether it's personal, professionally, creatively. And yeah, that's how I've done it. So I just am constantly building new pages and it looks really crazy. Like if my notebook is really thick and has stuff flying all out of it, but it's fun and it's mine. And it's really, for me, it's a personal thing. I'm not really sharing these with anyone. It's just something that I continue to grow and look at time and time again. And it's one of my favorite things that I've kept up with for a few years now.
I love that so much. It's like, it's such a fun experience to just think of all the things that you're inspired about and have them live in a place that's visual. So I love that, Madeline. Thank you so much for sharing. And it's also cool because, there are many different ways to go about making a vision board. Clearly, we all have our own process, our own style and preferences. Madeline, you mentioned yours might be more of a print version, like using a notebook or a journal. And for anyone listening, that is an awesome, awesome way to go about it, especially if you like to have it neatly tied up in something. I find that using a journal can be really helpful. But there's also other ways that you can go about making this, especially in this virtual world that we're living in right now. A digital vision board is a great, great, great way to keep that inspiration, but have it live on a different platform. So something that I like to do personally is just find images and general inspiration, words, phrases that keep me motivated toward my goals. And then I have them live in a digital place, whether it's on my computer, my tablet, my phone, something like that where I can see it all the time. So I also love to set my phone background as my vision board. And it just sort of reminds me of what I'm working toward every day, right? Like we spend so much time on our screens, might as well make it something that's refreshing and uplifting to look at. So yeah, you can do a digital one, a print one. Alexis, I'd love to hear kind of how you approach yours and what is your favorite kind if you have one.
Yeah, so this year my friends and I actually made a collage style vision board. We cut out images from magazines and we kind of glued them all into a poster board. You might have seen this a lot on social media lately. And it was a great way for us to just kind of bond and hold ourselves accountable. On my vision board, again, I put kind of personal and professional as well as financial and even like big purchases. So my friend's vision board was much different than my own, but that's what I love about vision boards is that it's literally your vision board and it's what you want to see and what it's because you can make them super personable and cater toward your own personal life. And you can host your own collage style vision board with your closest friends. Simply grab, your laptop, some snacks, maybe your Coke with coffee, and just, start creating the life that you want to live.
I love that so much. And Alexis, I love that you involve your friends in this process too. Like it is meant to be fun. It's meant to be inspiring and uplifting. So if, you're calling your community into this experience, that's even better. And I love also the idea of accountability, right? Like we come up with all these goals and we're putting them down on our digital or print or journal vision board. And then we're just kind of left to let time do its thing. But if you have friends and family or loved ones who are keeping you accountable toward these goals, that can be so, so helpful in achieving things over the long term. Like you said, your best life. So I love that. Another thing that really stood out to me when you were talking just now is the idea of personal and professional goals, right? Like we don't have to just be one thing. And I think vision boards are such a cool representation of the many parts of the whole that, makes us who we are. So I'd love to hear about everyone's thoughts on that. Like, what are some of your personal and professional goals, and how does that tie into your vision board? Madeline, I'd love for you to kick this off.
So I have a very specific goal that is apparent in my latest vision board, and it's all about books and reading. My screen time has just been out of control. So I am pushing myself through my latest vision board to manifest just reading more books this year and spending more time focused on that. I feel I really struggled to fully disconnect from my phone. Even when I was trying to read a book a few weeks ago, I was like checking social media, and this is the way that I feel like I really can achieve this. So I have a list of books that I want to read by the end of the year. And this is something that I'll revisit. So, like we mentioned, you can revisit your vision boards, you can make new ones. And this is something that's a visual, but also with a list. So there's some pictures of books, but also a full list of things I want to read. It's a lot of, fun fiction, but also things that I just want to improve my knowledge on and learn more about. So very specific, but sometimes it's good to hone in on a specific goal that you have that's a personal one, but also, as I learn more things can probably help me at work as well. So really excited about that. And Tiana, I'd love to hear any goals you have, specific or broad, personal, professional, that are coming through in your latest vision boarding.
Yeah, for sure. I love trying to do a mix of both. I always find that if I try to stick to one, it just merges into being both personal and professional anyway. So yeah, I think right now something I'm really excited about is this whole idea of wellness and self care, and really making sure that I stay uplifted this year. As we all know, we've been through a lot, and I think it's so important that we carve out that time to just refresh life a little bit and stay up during a time where it's easy to get really stuck and kind of set in our routines. So for me and my vision board right now, I'm really inspired by anything having to do with wellness, self-care, fitness, movement, dance, music, things that remind me of that sense of joy and feeling really uplifted in the everyday. So I'm trying to, pull images, and even like I'll put on a soundtrack that feels really inspiring while I'm making my vision board. There's something about the music and the visuals and Coke with coffee and my snacks and like everything being laid out that just makes it super fun. So I'm really excited about that. And Alexis, I'd love to hear from you too. Do you have any thoughts on kind of your personal professional goals with your vision board?
Yeah, so this year I wanted to step into my own power and really start a small business, as well as just kind of build more connections at the job and even outside of the job as well. I think last year we noticed that everything so far is like centered around connections and like making sure people are okay and kind of just checking in. So that's a really big goal of mine to continue in the new year as well. But yeah, really this year I'm just trying to focus on myself and just overall self improvement across all areas of my life.
That is amazing. I love hearing about everyone's, mix of personal and professional. And that's so cool that you want to start a business, Alexis. That's so exciting. So I think that, one of the cool things about vision boards too is that because all of our goals are in one place visually, or whether you have a checklist or whatever it is, it kind of shows this journey, right? Like our goals are not linear all the time. Often. And I think it's really cool to just sit down and refresh them every once in a while and know that they can shift and they can change and pivot over time. So I'm curious for all of you, is there ever a time where you make your vision board and then you revisit it later and realize that either you achieved some of those goals that you had set for yourself or that they may have changed? Alexis, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so I don't necessarily kind of revamp my whole vision board only because I have such a wonderful time kind of making it and the overall design of it all. So what I do in the beginning is kind of just like write all my goals on the back of the vision board, and as I achieve my goals, I like to cross them out. I just love that because it doesn't really have a huge impact on my vision board itself, but it's also a way for me to see that my goals have been reached, and I can hit the nail on the head on other goals as well. So that's what I love to do.
I love that. That is such a cool way of doing it and a great way of kind of keeping yourself accountable for all of the goals you're setting. For me, it's sort of like a moment in time because I date every single vision board that I create. So I just a few weeks ago went back and was like, what was I manifesting in January of 2018? And just seeing how my personal and professional goals have shifted is really great because I can track, what I have achieved, and also how things, like you said, Tiana, aren't linear. My goals have taken turns and pivoted, and that's great. It shouldn't always be like I've achieved all of these things, because then you're not open to, seeing what opportunities are coming your way, or just like how you're growing personally and professionally. And I think, to me, when I don't achieve all of them, that's growth there. Like, I'm not looking at it like that's a loss, or, I didn't achieve that. And that to me just shows development. And I love that. And that is just a cool way to look back, but also I'll revisit more recent ones and be like, oh, what was when I was thinking about where will I travel when I can travel again, looking back on those goals and how I'm feeling and my mood really does have an impact on that, which is cool too. So, little roundabout answer of yes, I reference my vision boards all the time.
I love that. And Madeline, I love that you said it really shows development. It shows growth and progress. And gosh, I remember making my vision board probably a year or two ago. I've made many more since then, but a vision board a few years ago. And I had written something like, I would love to lead a program or speak publicly or something like that. And at the end of the year, I looked back at my vision board and I was like, oh my gosh, I not only spoke publicly once, but did it so many more times. And I never would have imagined when I made that my goals would have grown and shifted so much. And it's so cool to look back at what you've accomplished and just feel like refreshed and uplifted and proud of yourself. It's such a cool thing. So for anybody who's at home listening and maybe you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed about like all of the goals that you have left to achieve, just know that this can shift, this can change. Stay inspired, have fun with it, make it an experience, make it personal to you. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is not a checklist. We already have enough checklists in life. So keep it really fun. Like vision boarding is meant to be an awesome experience. And so on that note, I'd love for us to all share if we have, any final tips for people who are listening, thinking about making their first vision board. Maybe they're unsure of where to start. What are some places that we can look for inspiration? What should we do? Alexis, I'd love for you to kick us off with your thoughts.
Yeah. So, like I said earlier, a vision board is all about you. And so it's great to get inspiration from other people, but really think about how you want to, again, live your best life and what will take you to a newer height in the new year. So, again, look for inspiration, yes, but make sure that those are the goals that you want to achieve and not like someone else or, something like that. So, I think, again, think about what you want to achieve and reach in the new year and kind of just go from there.
That's awesome advice. Madeline, do you have any thoughts for people listening who might want to make their vision board pretty soon?
Yes, of course. So, I feel like my biggest piece of advice for vision boarding is be a hoarder, but don't be a hoarder. So like keep things from past experiences. Like I'm a big fan of upcycling things into my vision board. So whether that's if it is focused on travel, maybe it's like a ticket from a previous trip or a coaster from a restaurant and those type of things. I love all the mixed mediums. I feel it gives like cool dimension and texture and a nostalgia. Love a like good nostalgic nod. So keep some things. I have like a little shoebox and I also have a drawer. So clearly hoarding things where, I'm incorporating things also like ribbons and glitter, get creative. And it sometimes can just look kind of wild, but you let yourself go, you let yourself have that creative moment. And that's part of it. Just like seeing where your creativity takes you and really leaning into the fact that this is a fun activity. It is not meant to like stress you out or, make yourself feel like you have to set lofty goals. It can be whatever you feel like you need in that moment. And just letting all of those, things that you have in front of you, lay out all of the things you can use in your vision board and just let yourself go, have a sip of your Coke with coffee and just like get ready to uplift all of your goals.
Absolutely. I love that. There's nothing better than like a creative session where you just get to make cool stuff. That lights me up. So, like we've talked about, there are so many different ways to go about this process to get inspired. There's places to look for inspiration all the time. Sometimes you have to hunt a little bit if you feel like you're a little stuck or in a rut. This has been a really tough year for a lot of us. And now that we're all at home, it's kind of like we're looking for things to do that can uplift us and just refresh the week a little bit. So I would encourage and challenge all of you listening to try this. Make a digital vision board, make a print one, bring out your favorite journal and create something. Refresh your day it's okay to take a break and do something for yourself. And I find that vision boarding is one of the best ways to do that. And like we mentioned earlier, you can also make it a social thing. Grab your Coke with coffee, call your friends, make it an actual event. I promise it will inspire you. It will inspire other people. So we are so excited to see what you all create. We hope that this has been inspiring and fun for you, just like it has been for all of us at her campus. If you do go ahead and create a vision board, we would love, love, love to see what you come up with. So show us your vision board on social and use the hashtag HC Reorientation Week. It's a long one, but we believe in you. And we would love to see what you create, what type of vision board you have, and your thoughts and inspiration that are coming to life. So don't forget, tune in tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern for our next event. We are going to be covering how to master time management, which is very important. So in the meantime, we're going to send you all a big virtual cheers. Thank you so much again to Coke with Coffee for making this event possible. We are so grateful and excited to refresh and uplift our week with vision boards in the future. So thank you all so much, and cheers.